Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a bit of about a long time since I uploaded my last. I recorded my last video for you. It hasn't been that long, and I was sick for the past few weeks. I couldn't speak that well, that's why I used AI last time. But this time I will be one talking again. Now, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we'll be diving into volume 7 of Lord of the Mysteries, titled Hanged Man, and the second last volume to the series. However, you don't have to be worried, since I will be reviewing Circle of Inevitability, Lord of the Mysteries Book 2. So, buckle up, because this volume is again does become better than last volumes, but there are many cons to it. Like, there are many drawbacks to the volume that every writer has, and even Cuttlefish has. So I'll break down the highlights, what I find good and what I found disappointed, and why this volume left me both thrilled and a little frustrated. So let's start with what I absolutely loved about volume 7. If I The highest sequence fights, yes, the high sequence fights absolutely insane. The creativity in these battles is just on another level, something that I find much more interesting. Although the lower sequence fights were more descriptive and were more easier to digest and understand what was happening in those fights, those fights were a bit more boring, to say the least, if I have to say. Not because the powers weren't interesting. The powers were interesting, but those fights did get longer than what I wanted it to be. Like, those were a bit too long for the level of fighting, the level of power which both of the combatants had. Now, the high sequence fights are much better. Manipulation, the planning stages, the sheer cosmic horror all clashing down each time those fights happened. Like, they did glue me to the screen of my PC when I was reading them. So kudos to Cuttlefish. He has gotten better at writing fights, though there are some improvements that can be done that I noticed. Some minor fights that could have been improved. Like one fight, especially one fight I was very disappointed in, that I will be talking about in the drawback section. However, another point that I liked was the integration of the Forsaken Land of the Gods. I really liked how Derek and the others from the Forsaken Land started to integrating to the world, the wider world. Why the help from Klein, but seriously, it was exciting to watch. It was fun. It was heartwarming seeing them not being in absolute darkness. It was warm. It was fun. That's what I want to say. Yes. Another thing that I would like to say, that the writing has become much better. Although I don't know if it's just the translation that I've been reading, or the writing has gotten better. But seriously, chapter 1335, that was titled "I Was Bone Chilling," easily one of the most unsettling chapters in the series. It really hammers home how differently a high sequence beyonder perceives the world. The sheer alienation, the disconnection from human norm. I would say that it's pretty much disturbing in the best way possible, to show how much a high sequence beyonder, a demigod, an angel, a king of angels, sees the world differently from humans. To see the growth from normal human to becoming an angel now, a sequence 2 angel, if I'm correct, is pretty good. To see how much he grows, how much he becomes different, how alien his thinking becomes. His perspective is becoming more and more alien throughout the book. Does less lampooning than he did in volume 1. Like, I think volume 1 was the most amount of times he did lampooned. Now, the final thing that I really liked about this volume was Adam's revelation, the things the spoilers Adam gave to Klein, the talk they had at the end of the volume, almost end of the volume, which was amazing. Just when you think you don't understand the lore, Cuttlefish knows how to drop good amount of lore to keep you interested, to keep you shocked at finding more and more about this world. Like I'm truly shocked at how much world building he has thought out and planned for this whole series. Like I'm excited to read Circle of Inevitability now. Although yes, I have heard that it could have been better, but I am still excited to read it now. Like every other book, writing or book in existence, it has its bad parts that they didn't work for me. Especially me, I have many things that bother me that other people's don't find that bad. One of the first thing was the ending to this volume was extremely rushed. The build up after all the build up from the previous 6 volumes, the pace just accelerates too much. Klein advances too much in his sequence, far too fast. My thoughts are that Cuttlefish should have slowed down a bit, give us more breathing room, not a fight after fight after fight. Isn't like it isn't a battle shown that Cuttlefish has to escalate the dangers, but yeah, he should have stopped a bit, given breathing space, then went full throttle again. It felt like the story was sprinting to the finish line instead of marching triumphantly. The last thing that I have to say was a drawback for me was Zaratul. Arguably the longest built-up antagonist for Klein from volume 1, even before Adam and Amon. He was the most built-up character, the most powerful character since the earliest we knew of. This guy has been lurking in the shadows since practically the beginning. Like we have known him since volume 1. So for him to taken down that easily, bit of a letdown. It robbed that moment of the weight it could have had. Like I know Klein was pretty powerful since he had Seraph Castle. He was also a sequence 1, I believe, and Zaratul was only a sequence 1. So yes, I understand that Klein is much stronger, but still it felt wasted, like a waste of character. The amount of time Zaratul had been built up, the danger he possessed, that we thought he would possess for Klein, yet in almost under 10 chapters he was defeated. Like there was no we didn't see the planning for Klein. We didn't see Klein planning for to defeat him. We were just told about that, which is a bit depressing. However, despite those issues, Volume 7 is still an incredible ride. The highs are sky high, even the lows. Some lows are forgivable. I still think that Zaratul's lows does bring the rating for this volume very down. What did you think of the volume? Did the ending bother you as much as it did me? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for Lord of the Mysteries books. More reviews for that.